Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. Can you believe who we just had in the studio? Famous Roosevelt Rawls. You can reach her at Rooseveltsings.com. She's the one that sang with Dick Van Dyke recently. And later on, we've got Dave Graham with DirectSourceWealth.com/hero, who's going to teach us about how to make money on our money. And thank you for the recent feedback we had from having the CEO of Title Boxing on. Make sure you go to Eliances.com, ELIANCES.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align. Well, imagine this. First of all, playing professional football is pretty amazing in itself. Now, what about making it to being able to play in the Super Bowls? And then winning the Super Bowl, but not just one, but two. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion with the Baltimore Ravens in 2000 and was selected to play in the Pro Bowl. We have Matt Stover, 20-year veteran NFL kicker and founder of the Players Philanthropy Fund. You could reach him at ppf.org. It's a 501c3. Of course, we'll also have it on our website at Eliances.com. Now, Matt, most important question that could possibly exist, what's it like holding not one, but two Super Bowl rings?
It's kind of heavy. And believe it or not, I have a third because the Ravens actually were kind enough and generous enough to give me and four other of my buddies who are in the Ring of Honor in 2012 when the Ravens beat the 49ers, another ring for that one. So I've got a Ring of Honor ring as well, and it's huge. So the three of them together makes quite a bit of a show.
Now, do you ever wear all three at once and go in public? I mean, people must just go like, what in the world's going on?
No, but when I do it, it's typically if I'm going to speak or I go work at, go see people in the hospital. It's a great icebreaker. You take them all three off, you pass them around. Typically, I end up with them. Sometimes it's like, where are they all?
Yeah, you better
you better find them, right? Track them down, David, right?
That's right, so, absolutely.
They're great icebreakers, but it's a lot of fun, and it's a great conversation piece. And at the end of the day, I'd love for people to share that with me because it was such a privilege to be able to be in the NFL with great teams like those to be able to get a Super Bowl ring.
Absolutely phenomenal. Now, tell me about the Players Philanthropy Fund that people could reach and go to by going to ppf.org.
See, I like the three letters, PPF. I knew the Players Philanthropy Fund would be difficult to say. And I did it because it was difficult. Most people remember it. The Players Philanthropy Fund was created by myself, Emil Kalina, and Seth McDonald. We thought back in 2010 that athletes needed assistance with helping manage their private foundations because typically they should not have their private foundation. They should actually plug into a donor-advised fund. And what we did with the Players Philanthropy Fund, we actually made it a three-pronged type of flexible platform for them to plug into. No longer do they have their own private foundation. They have an account at the Players Philanthropy Fund, which gives them C3 status, gives them the ability to come alongside of them and pay hard costs because we have them sign a fiscal sponsorship contract, which allows them to operate events. We can come alongside and pay hard costs, make sure that their event planners paid, and everything that they do is legal underneath the tax laws. And we, in then return, allow them to set up hardship case or scholarship funds with our benevolent fund. So it's a three-pronged approach. You have a donor-advised fund where money can be given. It can only be given out to another 501c3. You have the fiscal sponsorship model where they can actually host events, golf tournaments, bowling tournaments, cornhole tournaments, which we're going to actually have one on Monday night, where they are actually able to go out and do the events and raise the funds, and we can come alongside them. And the third approach is the benevolent fund, which allows them to do hardship or scholarship directly for the benefit of an individual. And we do that because most athletes do not give their own funds, if you can imagine that. They do not, but they love using their platform that they've been given in professional sports to raise the funds and be able to give it away.
That's truly amazing, and I want to know more about that, and our listeners want to know more about that because you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show. make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. The only place where entrepreneurs align, because we've got Matt Stover. Not just one, not just two, but he has 3 rings now, 3 Super Bowl rings. And you could reach him at ppf.org. Now, let's talk more about that. So the thing is why would then any player want to have their own when you make the process so easy? You take care of some of those hard costs, and really they have so much more of an easier platform. Why would anybody want to do it on their own?
Well, typically we're the training wheels for certain individuals that come in, and they actually learn the process of how to manage a foundation. They typically, if they start off on their own, they don't realize that they have a 990. It's a public tax return. They don't understand all the receipt tracking and all the gift letters that they have to give. Everything that they do and everything that they have is an open book, and you become very exposed to whatever operations you're running. So what we do is we bring them inside of our aggregate, teach them best practices, show them how to we keep track of all the books. We do all the tax returns because it's our EIN number that they're utilizing. So PPF is the one who's responsible for everything. And I understood this because back in 2006, my friend and I started a company called creditcards.com, and we sold it for quite a bit, 9 figures, and we had the ability to really capitalize on the ability to gift. So that being said, we had a great opportunity to learn how to give money. And then what we also did is we did it inside of a donor-advised fund, which made it more streamlined. So that's exactly what I do for these athletes.
How did you get so good, Matt, at everything that you do, from football, starting creditcards.com, to now PPF?
That's right.
What's the secret?
Go ahead.
What's the secret? How did you get so good at all of it?
Well, I paid attention. I knew that my career was going to be coming to an end someday. Most athletes don't think past their career. You must be thinking past your career your first year in. You don't know if you're going to make next year. You're just one injury away from not making your next year's contract. So I only bet on the money that I had in the bank at the time, never bet on the next year's money. And when I did that, I was interning at an international management group. I went to 4 different executive business schools so that I could learn more about the business world. But year 14 came around, and I had enough money to be able to risk if I lost it. And I think that's where a lot of players go wrong, is that they can't afford to lose the money. Therefore, they put it at risk, and then they lose it. Where it took me 14 years, where my wife and I finally decided that, you know what, it's a good risk. My friend and I had the creditcards.com started, and we decided that let's go for it, and we did. And in the long run, that was a great big hit for us. But then we knew we needed to be responsible and to be able to use those funds to make this world a better place. So that's when we did our donor advised fund, and then I saw how simple it was to create it for other athletes.
Now, you have over 65 charities, foundations nationwide that are on your platform. Can you talk about some of those?
You bet. Dwayne Wade, this guy knew that he needed some flexibility. He was in a donor advised fund, but it was not flexible enough because he could only give to another 501c3. Dwayne wanted to have an event, and he wanted to be able to pay for hard costs for that event, and he wanted to be able to pay for movie tickets for an individual. Well, he does that now. All we have to do is he gives us the program, he shares with us what the mission is, and then what we do is we actually write a check to the movie theater, right, or use a credit card for him at the movie theater. Ed Reed's building a field down in New Orleans, a turf field, and we come alongside of him, and he raises the funds, and we come on and pay for all of the bills and the invoices and help manage that. Now he's got a manager with him, but we at the same time work alongside of him. John Brinkus and Ray Lewis. Brinkus is the science guy on ESPN, and Ray and him started this foundation where they are giving rays of hope, where our video messages to individuals who are in deep trouble or in deep need of encouragement. So Ray will send a video, or another athlete will send a video to that person. Maybe they're fighting cancer, maybe they're a death in the family, and they will send those type of messages, and it's really changing lives. And there's many, many more to tell you about, but those are some of the big names that we have, and we've got baseball players, basketball players, NFL players. We've got the Women's Tennis Association working with us in the Benevolent Fund. So all of this comes about because they understand that the back office pieces of these type of organizations are very laborsome, very cumbersome, and you have to know the rules and best practices, and that's what we do for them.
Matt, we've got a little less than a minute left, but let's say that you were talking to first year, well, those that just made it into the NFL, MLB, NBA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So now they're just now going professional. What kind of secrets would you share with them, though, to be able to be successful, not just during their play, but also after?
Always know that you're transitioning out of your prospective sport if you're an athlete, and know that you need a work to do because you're going to be a very young individual when you're done. I don't care what sport you're in. You just can't do it forever. So that is the biggest thing. The other thing is it's a quick start in life. It is not a means to an end financially. Most players, I would say 90% of us end up not with enough money, and we will have to make ends meet outside with another vocation. So I always share that. So be working on what that vocation will be, maybe an insurance agent or a licensed financial planner or whatever it is while you're playing, because you have 6 months off to be able to do that in the NFL, and you have a few months off during the other sports. So that's what I would share with them.
Well, Matt, that's phenomenal advice. You created a way athletes can give back to their communities. That's a hero. Matt Stover, NFL veteran and founder of Players Philanthropy Fund. That's ppf.org. And when we come back, Dave Grimm from Direct Source Wealth at directsourcewealth.com/hero. This is David Kogan with Eliances.